Obviously, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't assume that they're going to take Anthony Richardson at 6 or anything like that. But is that a possibility of them going quarterback in the first round in this draft, that one of those guys is more than likely going to fall? One of those guys is going to fall to them.
Well, one of them could be there at 6. I think personally the top 2 guys on their board at that position are Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson. So they need the best case scenario of one of those 2 guys to be available at 6, right? And I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, Anthony Richardson is so intriguing. You have a team like Indianapolis who has to hit big. Look at Houston. Is Arizona going to move out of 3? I think Seattle's in a great spot where they could take Anthony Richardson just because they are probably going to franchise tag Geno Smith. And I will say this in the regards of Anthony Richardson is that Detroit went to Florida 5 times during the course of the season to scout their games. I have that on record. I know that at least 5 times. And then you throw in all of this pre-draft process stuff. They're doing their homework on that school specifically, and I think it's specifically for one player, as you mentioned, Anthony Richardson. So I think these quarterback comments are interesting. It's something that we haven't heard this regime say yet. So the fact that they're talking about it, I mean, they've been pretty transparent through this whole process. So I don't think they're just blowing smoke to blow smoke unless they genuinely are doing it so somebody comes up and says, hey, we're going to give you the king's ransom to get the 6th pick so we ensure that we get one of these quarterbacks. Maybe it's Carolina, and especially you look at the coaches that have gone from Detroit to Carolina, maybe there's something there to where they can trade down. I think it's pretty interesting, and I think there's a lot that ties into it. I'm fine with the Anthony Richardson pick because there is so much potential there. I've compared him to, like, currently the way he plays the game is kind of like how Deshaun Kaiser played the game as far as when he's throwing the football, which is not great because Kaiser was always really relying on arm strength and didn't have touch or have great anticipation. But Richardson has something that a lot of these quarterbacks in this draft don't have. And yes, is a big arm, and it is mobility, and it is just the overall size and strength. I mean, there's times where he is shaking off sacks from Jalen Carter. Like, he's throwing him off and running away from him. Like, that's impressive to me.
That's wild.
The thing that's most impressive is how he navigates the pocket. He moves around like a 4 or 5 year pro in the NFL. He moves kind of like Mahomes does in the pocket. Not saying he's Patrick Mahomes by any means, because he's got a long way to go to get there. But the hope is that he is Josh Allen or Cam Newton, and I think it's possible. We'll see. I think Detroit's a great spot for him, though, because he can sit, he can learn with Ben Johnson. But my thing is this. We already know Ben Johnson's been getting the calls for head coach. There's a chance he's gone in a year. Are you really going to swing for a quarterback and then in another year lose your offensive coordinator and have that quarterback go through the whole process again? I don't know. I think it's interesting.